Yo, what is up, you awesome person? Clunky here, hope you're doing well. Today, we're gonna talk about the very best specs that you need to be playing in the War Within pre-patch, okay? So let's jump straight into it. No specific order, because it's going to be super clumsy if I do so. We're gonna start with the healers, okay? So let's go ahead and take Resto Druid. Resto Druid is a kind of a hit or miss, okay? Resto Druid is like so much better than how it was at the beginning of the expansion, especially since now you can spam your 3 hands that can heal your allies whenever you're CC'd, though it is not going to be as great as, let's say, a Discipline healer. Discipline Priest literally does everything that your Restoration Druid does, but like 10 times better. Like, I'm just kidding, but yeah, it's just like way better overall. Just being able to prevent the damage with huge absorbs shields. Dude, you literally cannot kill a very good Discipline Priest if you're 2 DPSs against 1 Discipline Priest. Though you will be able to CC him and get the cap, which is the whole goal of the SOLOQ RBG. But overall, if we're talking about straight up big healings, big fat heals, Discipline Priest actually wins very, very hard. And then we got Holy, which in the good hands is almost as good as Discipline Priest, okay? But in bad hands is more like an A, okay? So there should be a subcategory right here between S and A. So if you're a very good Holy Priest, you're gonna be stepping up at the S tier. If you don't understand how to use your Holy Angel to avoid CC, like the timing is so important with this spec, okay? Just to avoid getting feared or trapped, you just pop that Holy Ghost. If you're a very good player, you will be going super far with Holy Priest. If you're kind of a meh player, it's going to be a rough time, right? So I'm gonna keep it at A since it's not as good as Discipline Priest. Preservation Evoker, you're gonna be so happy about that. Preservation right now is almost as good as when it first came out at the beginning of Dragonflight. Okay, so it's hovering, okay, no catchphrase, between S and A right now. Again, in good hands, it's going to be solid S, very hard to take down. You literally have a spell which is called Emerald Communion. When you are CC'd, you can press that spell. It heals everything around you. It's pretty bonkers. But I would say it's going in the A tier. Yes, because there's something even better. Yes, it's called Mistweaver. Mistweaver is not that great in solo queue arenas, but in RBGs, it is absolutely mind-blowing. If you want the very best healers possible, play Discipline Priest or Mistweaver. It is absolutely impossible to kill a Discipline Priest as long as he has mana, okay? I'm talking like 2 DPSs against 1 Discipline Priest or 1 Mistweaver. It is impossible, okay? We're gonna go with Holy Pally, baby. So right now, Holy Pally, I'm gonna be honest, if you're playing a Holy Pally, you are a hardcore gamer, okay? Right now, Holy Pally, I would say, is just like disgustingly bad. And it struggles in solo queue arenas. It's a little bit better in solo queue battlegrounds because you got other healers, just like Mistweavers and Discipline healers healing you. But really, you will find it way harder if you play Holy Pally than those 2 other specs. Okay, let's go with the rogue specs. Assassination, ta-da! S tier, absolutely bonkers, insane damage, insane control. I would rather fight right now an outlaw or a subtlety than a freaking assassination rogue. You've got damage, you've got CC, you've got everything, okay? So if you want a super fun rogue spec, super freaking OP because it deals a lot of damage. I don't know if you guys watch my videos. I literally don't know how to play. I'm getting like 30 kills, 0 death every game. That is absolutely dumb, okay? So that rogue spec is a blast. Then we got subtlety. You can play subtlety, but it is going to be much better at capping objectives, okay? This spec right here is kind of a hit and miss again. Why I'm saying that? Because in bad hands, subtlety will literally be a B or a C, okay? In good hands, On the other hand, it will be absolutely phenomenal for capping nodes solo. Okay, subtlety. The job for subtlety rogue is just like solo capping the RBG, absolutely carrying your allies. If you're able to do so, subtlety is an S. If you're just going for straight like fighting, it is going pretty much to be a B, pretty much, or a C even. Like it's pretty bad right now. But we're talking about SOLOQ RBG, so I'm gonna put it at S. All right, let's go with Outlaw. Outlaw, super bad right now. Absolutely must avoid character. I mean, you can get away with it, but it's just not going well for that character right now. So if you want to be safe, pick up Assassination for raw damage and CC easy damage, or Subtlety if you want to solo carry BGs, but avoid Outlaw. It's just like garbage, right? Alright, so Marksman Hunter is going to be a solid B, okay? The reason why is we kind of lost the ability to one-shot everything. Okay, don't get me wrong, we still get fat damage with Marksman Hunter. It's still a super fun spec, though what's happening is Marksman got nerfed so hard. Right now, it is not possible to waffle carry your team by just like randomly one-shotting people. So it's going to be much harder because you cannot one-shot people anymore. Like that was Marksman Hunter's ultimate trump card. You were literally able to sniper shot from stealth into rapid fire and get a kill almost every time, but right now it got nerfed kind of hard. It's still good, it's still pretty good, though it is not as good as what it used to be. All right, so survival, I would say a solid A. Right now, survival is surprisingly tanky for some weird reason. It's kind of hard to take down a very good survival hunter. Is it as good as the other aspects? I don't think so, but it's pretty high in the rankings. What about the mage specs? Okay, Arcane, solid A. If you're able to juke the casts, you will have a very fun time in the pre-patch. But if you're struggling to get the casts off, it's going to be a very bad C, okay? So let's say you're very good with Arcane Mage, it is going to be super good. All right, moving on to Fire Mage. Fire Mage has kind of fallen out of grace since SOLOQ RBGs is about like a lot of players, okay, fighting together, and you can pop your combustion with Living Bomb and deal some humongous freaking AoE damage. I would say it's almost an S tier, okay? But if you cannot get the enemies to stack together and pop your flame strikes on them, it is going to be a B tier, okay? The damage is not that great right now. The thing about Fire Mage is your damage is kind of healable. If you're going single target build, you need to go with AoE build to pop the damage. But if you're going AoE build, you're pumping that flame strike, you will be dealing that massive fat freaking damage. What about Frost Mage? Frost Mage, B tier. The reason why is you're kind of limited. You literally are a weakest Fire Mage, okay? The only thing that's going on for you as Frost Mage is the ability to root people. If your enemies are not stacked up, you won't deal nearly as much damage, okay? You really need to pop your Frozen Orb, your Blizzard, into a bunch of people. Just root constantly, root everything. That's where you're gonna shine. If you can't get that off, man, this is going to be even a C tier, bro, a C tier. Let's say that the enemy team is stacking, okay? They let you free cast and you're playing perfectly, the perfect rotation possible, and everything goes well and you don't get interrupted. Maybe a B tier, a low B tier, okay? It is going to be okay for the roots, but the damage is kind of lacking. Let's go over Druids, okay? Tank Druid, I would say, is surprisingly super good right now, okay? Doesn't deal that much damage, but the survivability, if you know how to play it, it's super hard to kill, okay? It literally takes like 4 people, 5, 6 people bursting really hard. It will struggle against multiple casters, but it's going to be lasting longer against multiple melees. All right, so right now probably the best tank spec just to carry the flags and be super invincible. And then Feral Druid, dude. Feral Druid, Oh, it's starting to shine, baby. Especially in the pre-patch. Right now, Feral is very deadly. You don't see that many Ferals, okay? Because most people rather play Survival. But right now, Feral is disgustingly strong, okay? The only thing about Feral that really does not allow the class to get higher in the charts is the ability to CC people. Cyclone. If we had instant cyclones, I would easily put Feral at S tier. But right now, with no instant cyclones, it is going to be pretty much impossible against very good players to get those cyclones off. What about a balanced Druid? Always top of the pack. Always, I would even like put balanced Druid a little bit higher than S tier. I don't know why Blizzard really likes balanced Druid. If you like spamming insane amounts of AoE damage, raw pressure, easily balanced Druid is just a character for you. You will be topping the charts pretty easily, especially if you watch my guides videos that I release on monthly basis about every characters in World of Warcraft. You will be enjoying balanced Druid a lot. Alright, let's talk about DKs, boys. So, DKs, Blood DK, I would say, has fallen down from its prime, okay? It used to be the best tank spec to never die, but Death Strike got nerfed pretty hard, and let's be honest, Death Strike is the ability that you use the most with Blood DK, so you know where this is going. Though it is possible to play Blood DK and carry your RBG groups by just like being super cheesy and grabbing the healers down in the water and pulling them back and making it impossible for the enemy healers to go back towards their base. So that's one thing you could do with Blood DK if you want to, but it's not as good as, let's say, the Tank Druid to carry flags, but it is going to last a very long time in fights. If you're a Frost DK main, you will be so happy. Right now is the best time to play your Frost DK. It is absolutely crazy, deals humongous freaking damage, has a lot of control, AoE stuns, you've got grips. It is so much fun right now to play Frost DK, and it slaps very, very much hard. And then we got Unholy, which is a little bit worse than Frost because it has less control. I would say A or S in the middle, in between, but I would say you can still top the damage pretty easily with Unholy right now. And SOLOQ RBGs, absolutely fun as heck. What about Retribution Paladin, boys? I would say it's going on the S tier, an absolute beast of a spec. It deals humongous damage. On top of that, okay, here's the neat part, is you can use Hand of Sacrifice on your healer, your Mistweaver, or your Disciplined Priest, which further reduces all damage taken by 30%, which is mind-boggling. It's already hard enough to kill a freaking Mistweaver or Disciplined Priest, but right now, you can lay on hands on those targets too, so allowing you to help your team so much, providing utility, insane damage. Red is one of those characters you need to play. What about Protection Paladin? I would say a D, man. I never ever see anybody playing Protection Paladin ever. Hopefully it's going to be better in the War Within, but right now, if you want to play a tank, play Bear Druid or Blood DK. That's it. Like, it is what it is. Protection Warrior, I would say pretty low B. I've seen some good Protection Warriors, though what's happening right now is if you want to play a tank, like Druid does everything that Protection Warrior does, but better, okay? I mean, Protection Warrior is maybe going to be a little bit better in team fights than the Tank Druid, but for flag carries, it is not going to be as great as the Bear Tank, for sure. What about Arms Warrior? Well, Arms Warrior is kind of a middle of the pack type of spec right now. It's really great in arenas. I mean, like, okay in arenas, but in SOLOQ RBGs and pre-patch, it's okay, I guess. Fury Warrior is a little bit better in terms of damage, though it lacks the ability to use Blade Storm, which makes it so that you can dodge enemy CCs and stuff. So I would say if you want to go for more damage, Fury is your best bet. but arms allows you to literally immune all CCs, which is great. Whoops, forgot to talk about Havoc Demon Hunter. Havoc Demon Hunter is easily S tier, absolutely beast of a spec. You have everything. You've got an ability which is called Netherwalk that makes you invincible for 7 seconds. So if you're in trouble, Netherwalk, you're saved, and you've got insane damage. You are a super disruptive character. All you do is CC basically. You got a fear, you got a stun, you got incap, you got everything, dude. That is one of the best specs for SOLOQ RBGs for sure. If you're playing melee, you want something that deals huge damage, pretty easy to play Havoc Demon Hunter. What about the tank Demon Hunter? I would say it's a pretty low B tier right now. It used to be super good. Now it is getting outclassed by the DK in terms of survivability, though what the tank DH has more than the DK is more CCs. You can spec into a build which makes it so you have so many CCs. It is super hard to kill a very good Demon Hunter tank whenever he's fighting multiple casters, okay? The class excels at fighting casters for some weird reason because of the silence and the fear effects. What about Brewmaster? Yeah, pretty much the spot. I never see anybody playing Brewmaster. There's a good reason for that, because right now, Tank Druid does everything better than all the other specs. That's literally it, okay? Maybe in the War Within it's going to be better, but as of right now, no bueno. What about Beast Mastery? Oh, I'm always forgetting about that spec. Right now, super bad. Please avoid, okay? If you like BM, play it anyways, man. Play whatever you like. This game is made for fun. But if you're looking for the best hunter spec for SOLOQ RBGs right now in the pre-patch, forget about BM. It's absolute dog trash. What about Windwalker? I would say it's a solid A. The reason why it's not an S, just like Havoc, is survivability. When you don't have your Touch of Karma, when you don't have your big 5-minute CD wall, you're basically dead as a Windwalker. You spend the whole match just running, and sure, you got insane damage, sure, you got Touch of Death, so you can clutch a kill on the healer. No, you're very squishy, so high damage, insane mobility, super squishy. So Devastation Evoker, boys. Absolutely insane damage. With Devastation Evoker right now, you have the ability to carry your solo softful RBG round easily. Super insane AoE stuns, very high burst damage pressure. It is absolutely scary whenever you see a Evoker popping his big cooldowns. The only downside about the Evoker is the fact that the range is like 25 yards, so that's kind of short. And then you're kind of squishy. Outside of your coolies, man, you die like a freaking piece of paper. Everything goes through you, you die super quick. But if you can deal with that, I would totally play Devastation Evoker. It's super strong. What about this forgotten spec that nobody plays, Augmentation Evoker? I would say pretty low B. Even a D, man, even a freaking D tier. The reason being is your damage is pretty bad. The thing that is pretty cool about Augmentation, it is going to be able to boost your team's damage. So if you're playing with a bunch of DKs, Evokers, etc., you can have an Augmentation Evoker like boost everybody's damage by a swing amount. So that might be why you would want to play this spec, but really right now it is not really good. I would totally avoid this spec if I was you. All right, so what about Shadow Priest right now? Absolutely bonkers damage. If you're playing a rot build, you will be dealing so much damage. That is if you're allowed to free cast. So it is going to be much harder as a Shadow Priest to top the damage than let's say a Boomy or a Fire Mage with instant abilities. You kind of have to hard cast your Vampiric Touch and put them on everything. So that is going to be kind of harder than like play Devastation or Boomy or Fire Mage for that matter, but it is going to be substantially way better than in the past seasons. Like Shadow Priest right now, super fun, deals a ton of damage. Tier set is fun, and hopefully it stays like that for the upcoming expansion that is going to be released in 20-ish days, boys. Let's do it. Ellie Shabby. Oh man, Ellie is so broken right now. I know it's not gonna be that way in the War Within, but as of right now, wow, absolutely a crazy damage, literally one-shotting the whole team with lava bursts. If you want to play Ellie, now's the time to do it. You're gonna have a blast, an Ellie elemental blast, quite literally. Resto Shami, I mean, not too bad, but in solo shuffle RPGs, it's far from being super great. I would say it's middle of the pack. It looks strong-ish, but you're kind of forced to cast outside your big totems, your big cities. That's literally what screws up Resto Shamis the most. It looks super fun to play, but it's pretty meh at the moment. It's not too bad, not too good. Anyhow, so we got Enhancement Shami, I would say is, again, pretty much a C tier. It's not extremely good. Oh, no, bro, screw it. B tier, yeah. I rarely ever see an Enhancement Shami ever. And when I do, it's not bursting that much. It's not doing much at the moment. Maybe it's going to be much better when we actually have all the talents in a new expansion. But as of right now, pretty bad spec. I would totally avoid it. Unless you are a hardcore gamer and you have big balls of steels, I would avoid it totally. What about Demo Warlock? Demo Warlock right now has exceptional CC, though the damage is pretty bad. Outside your CC, the damage is so bad right now with Demo Warlock. It's just good for arenas, and that's it. You're sitting duck, you're gonna get smacked in the face by marksmen, by rogues, by warriors. Everything wants to kill you as a demo, and you have to cast so much to be able to just like deal some mad damage. It's not worth it. I would totally avoid. It looks great, it looks super good, but I believe it is going to be insane in the next expansion. But in the pre-patch right now, it's, yeah, you should avoid it, okay? And Affliction, I would say, could go into S tier, but honestly, the amount of cast time you need to do is quite insane. The damage would be S tier, but since you need to hard cast that much, A tier, man, it's so hard. It's so hard. It is. I'm gonna place it on A tier. It's just the best Warlock spec by far right now. I would say like Destruction is kind of like meh, man. It's super bad. I believe once we get the new talents, when we get to level 80, it is going to be much better. But as of right now, it feels super meh. It doesn't feel like impactful. Chaos Bolts hit for wet noodles damage, and the best Warlock spec by far is Affliction, but not by that far. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, also share my stuff. It really helps my channel, and stay tuned because I'm gonna release more content, a lot of guides for all your favorite classes in World of Warcraft in the upcoming expansion, the War Within. See you there, gentlemen. That's gonna be awesome. That was Clunky.